Now we're going to install a Taymor Art Deco matte black lever. The first step is to get the latch ready. The latch is adjustable for bore holes which are where the center of the bore hole is 2 3/4 or 2 3/8 away from the edge of the door. In this case, the bore hole is 2 3/4, so we pull the latch out. We can simply just slide the latch in for a 2 3/8 bore hole. This is for 2 3/4. The next step, the latch comes pre-configured for a drive-in application. This silver collar works to hold the latch in place on a drive-in application, but we don't need it today because we're using a radius mortise application. So I'll use my flathead screwdriver and simply twist, and the two pieces will pop off quite easily. Next, we'll take the subplate and we can slide the latch up through the subplate, twist the latch about 1/8 of a turn, and it engages with a couple of little depressions on the subplate. Next, we'll drop the radius mortise plate on top, and you'll see that there's a little bit of movement in this latch. Just a little bit of side-to-side movement in the latch. That movement is there on purpose in case the edge of the door is beveled. Most doors in North America have a slight bevel to them, and that little bit of movement there allows the latch to be installed and have the latch still be straight in and out on the door while the face has a slight bevel one way or the other, and allows the lock to operate smoothly in all conditions. To install the latch in the door, simply slide it into the opening and hold it in place with your thumb. I'll take one of the 2 screws. Now we're ready to install the outside and the inside of the lever. The biggest difference between installing a square rose lock and a round rose lock is simply this one square rose adapter, and I'll show you where to use that in a moment. So to start with, we're going to put the square spindle into the lock, and we're going to put the outside of the lock through our latch and hold it on the door like so. Now we're ready to install the inside part of the deadbolt. Simply slide it into place, and we're going to install the bolts. Now, I'm going to take the second bolt, and you can see there is a slight depression on the square adapter. The head of the bolt fits perfectly into that depression. So it's really clear once you look at it which way it has to be installed. We're now ready to slip the trim over the lock. That's in place. The lock is nice and square, and that square rose adapter will hold it square in place. The last step is to use our Allen key and our inside lever trim to complete the installation. As you can see, there are 2 rectangular grooves inside of the lever. Those rectangular grooves correspond to 2 rectangular bumps on the spindle on the inside, and that's really what drives the operation of this lock. The set screw is really only there to hold the lever onto the lock. The set screw isn't doing any of the mechanical hard work of operating the lock. Once it's installed, it should be good for life. Our lock is now operating perfectly.